The rooftop lounge was buzzing that Friday night. Music thumping, lights glittering over the skyline, and the air thick with laughter and clinking glasses. Mia was in her element, animated and glowing, surrounded by friends as she tossed back cocktails and cracked jokes like she owned the place. I watched her from beside her, trying to shake off the strange heaviness that had settled over me throughout the evening. Then the conversation drifted to exes. Mia laughed, flicked her hand carelessly and said, "Honestly, I don't even care about him." She said it lightly like it meant nothing, but something about it landed in me like a stone. I kept my expression neutral, raising an eyebrow as though it were all just harmless banter. But Leah, her best friend, didn't react the same way. She stood beside Mia, martini in hand, and the look she gave her lingered just a moment too long. Something shifted, quiet, subtle, but unmistakable. Leah leaned in, murmuring something too soft for me to hear. Whatever she said, it hit instantly. Mia's laugh trailed off, her expression tightening as if the air around her suddenly turned cold. Her posture changed, stiffening as the truth of Leah's whisper sank into her. The crowd kept on buzzing, but for Mia the energy drained from the room. Her eyes went wide, her breath catching, and she tried to put distance between herself and Leah without making it obvious. But Leah didn't look away. She held her gaze, steady and deliberate. I saw the panic building in Mia, the kind that starts deep inside before it reaches the face. "What do you mean?" she stammered, voice thin. Leah just leaned in again, whispering more, each quiet word tightening the tension. I pretended to check my phone, inching closer to catch even a little of the exchange, but the words were still too soft. What mattered was the effect. Mia's fingers trembled around her glass. Her smile was gone, and the people around them were starting to sense something was wrong. Whatever secret Mia had hoped to bury, Leah had just pulled it into the open, without raising her voice, without making a scene. Just a whisper. A whisper that stripped Mia of her usual confidence. She tried to laugh it off. "Oh, wow, okay, very funny, Leah," she said, but even she couldn't pretend it was a joke. Her face had gone pale. The atmosphere had shifted sharply, heavier than before. Friends started exchanging glances, quietly wondering what had just happened. Leah kept talking to her softly, calmly, and that only made it worse. There was no anger in her voice, no mockery, just truth. And that truth left Mia exposed, stripped of the bravado she'd been flaunting minutes earlier. Mia looked around desperately, searching faces for reassurance, but the room wasn't on her side this time. Everyone had felt the shift, even if they didn't know what caused it. Her confidence had cracked, and once it cracked, everything else followed. I finally spoke, letting my words fall into the silence she had created. "Looks like some jokes have consequences." Her head snapped toward me, eyes wide with fear and embarrassment. In that moment, she understood exactly how quickly things had spiraled. She had tried to play it cool, but Leah's whisper had undone her completely. As the night went on, Mia stayed quiet, the earlier spark gone from her voice. The truth Leah had reminded her of sat heavy on her shoulders, and she couldn't shake it off. Her laughter never returned, not the real kind. The memory of that whisper clung to her like a shadow. It amazed me how something so soft, so quiet, could unravel a person so completely. But sometimes the smallest truths, spoken low and calmly, hit harder than anything shouted. And that night Mia learned that the hard way.